Okay, so in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make a nice text effect here, which is using an image and inserting that into the text to give a cool little effect there. In actual fact, you can move it about a little bit as well until you get to where you're happy with it. Main tools that we're going to be using today are the clipping mask tool, layers, duplicating and creating new layers, the text tool, foreground colour and free transform. So we're going to use these 5 things quite a lot today, and we are working in Photoshop, not in Illustrator. So I'm going to go ahead and let's get rid of this so we can start over. No, I don't want to save. File, open. You want to select a high quality image, so a nice high res. You don't want it to look pixelated. I'm going to go for the Times Square one. Images with a lot of colour work quite well, but really shouldn't matter too much. So once our image is open, the first thing that we're going to do is go over to our layers here, and if I right click on the background layer, which will remain locked, you don't need to worry about that, and I'm going to simply just duplicate it, so duplicate layer. It's copied, it's called background copy, that's absolutely fine. I'm just going to leave it like that. So that's the first thing. Next thing that we're going to do is go down here where it says the bottom right hand corner, it's next to the little delete, the little dustbin, and we're going to get a new layer, so that's called layer number 1. And then we need to come over to something that's called the foreground colour, so that's this little shape here, and you want to make sure that it's white on top and then black on the bottom. If yours is the other way around, which I think the preset is the other way around, you can use your little arrow here to switch them. Okay, so make sure your white's on top. Next thing that you're going to do, and we're on layer 1, making sure we're still on layer 1, is press Alt and Backspace on your keyboard. Press them together and that'll just fill it completely white, and that's a really important step. So it's Alt and Backspace. Once you've got your nice white background, you're going to do a little bit of moving with the layers here, and this is a key stage. If you don't do this, you're not going to get the desired effect at the end. So if you grab the layer, and we want it exactly in the middle there, so we've got background, layer number 1, and then we've got background copy on the top. Okay. On background copy, we're going to go over to the text tool, so that's the T here. Just click on it once. If it's easier, you can draw a box. It's nice to do it somewhere where there's not a lot of writing on your screen, so that you can see what you're writing. Now the font that I use is Impact, but you can really use anyone. Impact works quite well with it, but as I say, you can use any. If you make the size 72, just to start with, we can resize it later on, and you're going to type whatever text you want. I'm going to go for New York. Let's go all caps. New York. There we go. Happy with that. And once you've got your text here, so whatever text that you want, you need to again come back down to the layer menu, and we want this to be behind the background copy. So that is the order in which your 4 layers should be looking at the moment. So you've got your background copy, New York, layer number 1, and background. Okay. On background copy, with that selected, you're going to right click and go to something here. Sorry, that's in your way, which is called Create Clipping Mask. Click on that. And it's quite difficult to see from here, but what it's done is it's put the image behind the text. So the best way to see it is to make it bigger. If I go into the Edit menu and go down to Free Transform, you could also use Control T on your keyboard. I need to make sure I'm on the text layer first of all. Make sure you're on the text layer, and then go to Edit, Free Transform. Once we make this big, you will actually see that the image has gone behind it. There you go. You can drag that out, and you can really position it anywhere you want it to be. That's looking a bit busy, so I'd probably pick a simpler image. But that's how you do it. Make sure you press Enter to accept your transformations, and that's done. 4 layers and 4 basic tools. Thank you.